welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
Today we are talking about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Episode number 10, and this one is called Kiss, Kiss, Bangs, Bangs. I get the bangs, bangs, but I don't know that I get the kiss, kiss.
I don't either, but the bangs had me rolling. I mean, Meredith. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Bronwyn's looked great.
I agree. Bronwyn's did look great.
I loved Angie's hair. I just love Angie. I loved Angie's dress more than any of them.
Yes. You know what was weird to me? So we're just going to jump there because why not? We start out the episode, right, with Mary saying she's getting ready for her breakfast at Tiffany's, and the opening is narrated by somebody, and we see like her staff there, like it seems like a butler, and she's setting the table. And then when they arrive at the house, I'm like, this isn't her house. Like, this isn't her house. But it was her house. But remember she had like that green carpet in her house and all the bright colors? Like, she must have remodeled her house.
She probably did remodel her house, but you're right. You're right. I think she said in one season she was getting rid of that green carpet.
Yeah, but when Bronwyn went there, because didn't Bronwyn go there and see her blue?
She did.
Right?
Yeah, so it must have been in between then and now and when they filmed.
Yeah, because I don't remember seeing the outside of her house, and it was very prominent. In this one, I was like, this isn't her house. And then even inside, I'm like, this isn't her house. This is all white and elegant, and like, this is not her house.
Listen, it wouldn't be far-fetched for her to do this not at her house, being what's going on with her son. Maybe she did rent another house. Maybe she got like an Airbnb to do this.
Yeah, maybe she did. That was the first thing that I like, this isn't adding up.
And did they show the kitchen? Because her kitchen is Tiffany blue.
They did not show her
Tiffany blue.
Yeah, no, they did not show the kitchen. And it would have fit in with the theme perfectly.
Yeah, I think you're right. They must have filmed somewhere else. They must not have been at her house.
That was my first impression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll look that up and see what we find out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see a little bit of Whitney and her son Brooks are outside playing soccer.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize her son's name was Brooks. I knew her daughter's name was Bobby, but I did not realize her son's name was Brooks.
Me neither.
And we see Lisa and Heather go to Wasabi to catch up. And that is the same Wasabi that Kyle goes to.
Thought it was.
I think it was, right? It's got to be.
It was. It had to be. That's what I was thinking while they were there.
Like, how many Wasabis can there be?
Right.
I thought it was funny that Heather thought she was going to a Japanese restaurant because wasabi is the spicy mustard.
Yeah, like, how did you not know? Don't you live in Salt Lake City?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Kind of a famous place, isn't it? If Kyle was going, I'm assuming.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Isn't that where Kathy got annoyed because Lisa Rinna asked for Kris Jenner's vodka or tequila?
No, she asked for somebody else's because Kathy was promoting Kris Jenner's, wasn't she?
I thought Kathy was promoting her own and she asked for Kris Jenner's. I could be wrong.
Wait, it's not Kris that has one. It's Kylie's. 818 is Kylie's.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yes, that is the place where there was a tequila scandal and where they had hats. Like, yes. There was a bar and hats all in the same place.
Yes.
I thought that was a little interesting that she had no idea what it was. But when they get there, once again, they're talking about Lisa and what happened with Bronwyn and what Heather's take on the whole thing is. This whole story is ridiculous and it is so played out.
I feel like Lisa twisted some things when she repeated it back to Heather. Did you feel like that? Like, I can't think of specifics because I didn't write them down, but I felt like while I was watching it, I was like, that's not exactly what happened.
She does twist things. She definitely does. So she's telling, the one thing that she didn't twist, she is telling her about Todd saying that they were going to have to leave if, she didn't make things right.
But she didn't say what she did leading up to that. Like, she didn't say that she and Bronwyn got into it.
Right. She did say that Bronwyn was upset about her calling her on the phone when she was talking to Heather, because that's what the blow up was really about at that point.
Right.
but she wasn't really specific. Also, before we saw Angie and her daughter, Electra, and I don't know where they were planting. Was that at her house?
I thought it was a place like up the road, like
a garden center?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Where you can
And
go do that, yeah.
yeah, her daughter was calling her a helicopter mom.
Yeah.
And she definitely is a helicopter mom. Listen, when you have one child and that's your whole life, you become a helicopter mom. That's what happens.
Yeah, I think, and even when you have more than one kid, if one kid requires more attention and, it could be the same thing.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
And then we see Todd and Bronwyn are talking about the trip, and Todd said, in the 10 years we've been together, I've never seen you act like that. He said, you ruined a perfectly fine afternoon. And the look on Bronwyn's face, like, oh my gosh, I really disappointed him. Like, even in her confessional, she said that was like, his approval means a lot to her. And
I think he
you could
should have
see
had
that.
her back a little bit more on that one.
I agree with you. I think he should have had her back, but I don't think he had any idea what he's stepping into. I think he had no idea.
No, he didn't. And I do agree with him where he said your friends should not bring out the worst in you. I 100% agree with that, because I've always told my kids that about a partner. Like, look for somebody who brings out a better version of yourself. I mean, I don't know if Eric and I are doing that for each other anymore, but at one point we did. But I definitely think that's true with your friends. I mean, if your friends are bringing out a bad side of you, it's like, when you watch your kids be friends with kids you don't really think are on the right path. It's like, the influence. So I agree with him there, but I do like the look in her eyes. I felt like he could have had her back a little bit more. I don't like it when I tell Eric a story about something and he doesn't take my side.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't even a story. Like, he's just telling her about
there.
Yeah, about he didn't approve of her behavior, and he's never seen her like that before, and he pretty much wants her to course correct because she's better than that.
Yeah, and he's not wrong. Again, I think his delivery is a little fatherly rather than husbandly, but he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
But this is not, Housewives is not the place for taking the higher road. She's too classy for this show.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far.
I don't say that about a lot of housewives.
No, you really don't. You really don't.
I think she might be.
Let's back it up a second. Remember when Heather went over to her house, there was dog shit on the floor?
Not the best homemaker. I just think that if this is who she is to her husband, then this might not be the right career path for you.
Yeah, I mean, she obviously doesn't need it, right? She doesn't need it. I think what he said to her when she said, listen, he said, like, maybe you shouldn't be around these people. Well, she's like, but we're going to this brunch. I have to go to this brunch with them. And I think what he said next was, maybe it's time for you to cowboy up and change. I thought that was a little harsh because I thought that was, not so much what she needed to hear at that moment.
That's not what she needed to hear. She needed just go in there, hold your head high and be true to yourself and, all the things that you say to a friend who's going into a difficult situation.
Right. Right.
You're a mature, good decision maker, and you'll know what the right thing to do will be.
Right. Exactly. And the next thing we see is Angie is talking to her dad. He comes over for dinner. I did think it was a little odd.
He's so sweet.
He is so sweet. I thought it was odd that Shawn and Electra were out horseback riding and he came over for dinner. I mean, maybe because Shawn didn't want to film, and I don't know. I just thought that was a little odd.
I think that Angie wanted this moment with her and her father based on
it was beautiful. I mean, I think it was a beautiful moment.
And maybe some of the things she was going to say about her own mother, she didn't want Electra to hear.
Yeah. No, that does make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that makes sense. I think that it was a wonderful conversation. This is the stuff I like to see. I think her father is an amazing man. 7 children. He went to work, came home, made dinner, 4 daughters on his own. And
she was only 8 when her mom passed.
Yeah. And, the other thing I thought was interesting is she said that, even when before she had passed, years before she had passed, she was self-medicating with alcohol. So I wonder if her passing was from a mental illness, you know?
I mean, I would imagine.
Something like that, right? And
Yeah.
that,
I mean, you have 7 kids. She must have been completely overwhelmed. And he said she only had one brother. She always wanted to have a lot of kids. That's a lot of kids.
it's a lot of kids.
So, she was overwhelmed. And if you have those tendencies, you're
Yeah.
going to overindulge and possibly create a bad habit.
Yeah. I thought that was very, very sad.
Yeah. But I thought that the conversation with her and her father was beautiful. And she was very honest with her feelings about her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And her father was just only spoke highly of his wife and was very gracious about it.
He really was. He really was.
mean,
He is a class act.
yeah. He's too classy for the show.
Yes. Now that I can get behind.
Yeah. He's an amazing man. She's very
Yeah.
have him as her dad.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine, putting the necklace on her daughter and her feeling that way. But you know what? That's all she knew. If all she knew was heartache and absence, and that's what you're going to feel.
And it completely explains her being overcompensating as a mom. It completely explains that.
Yes, it does. It really does. The more I see Angie, the more I like Angie.
Me too. I'm here for her. Yes.
And I'll be honest with you, this season, the more I see Mary, the more I like Mary. I mean, when Mary is the voice of reason.
Absolutely.
I mean, listen, I'm here for that. I really am.
I think that, we both know it takes something to put things in perspective for you. So if she's got things going on with her son, she realizes this is all bullshit.
Right. Right.
So let's just, try to move past it. Where last season, it wasn't like that with her. She was sitting in the van, not wanting to get out. She just wanted to go to McDonald's.
Right. So then the next scene we see is that Bronwyn is the first one to show up at Mary's house, which we're not really sure if it's her house.
I mean, she had security checking people in. I bet you it wasn't her house now that you say that, because she had a security guard checking off names like it was a club.
I know. I think that was just part of the act, though. I think.
See, I never watched Breakfast at Tiffany's, so I'm wondering if some of these references are to the movie, like we saw with New York and Clueless.
Right.
And possibly Top Gun with Salt Lake last week.
Right.
But we don't know. We don't know if those were
We're not really sure, right?
We're not sure.
It could be.
It could be.
I never saw it either, to be quite honest with you.
No.
But it was interesting that, literally she was there with the bartender. I don't remember Eduardo, I think it was. She was there with her and Eduardo were there.
Yes. She's like, well, I guess I should get a drink so I know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
Which is so true.
Right. Like
when you're not drinking, or me have a cigarette in my hand, I don't know what to do with my hands.
So then Meredith is the next one to show up, and Bronwyn's telling Meredith about what Todd had said when they got home. And then Mary, finally comes down and says that this party is an escape from her problems that she's having with Robert Jr., that she wants to bring people together. She wants to help mend things for them because she really doesn't have any control in what's going on in her own house. So again, it just made me feel for her more, because I think that it's sad. It's heartbreaking what she's going through. And I'm glad that she's trying to do something, positive to even, for herself, to make herself feel better. Like that she's, that you matter, that what you're doing matters, because when you have someone in your life and you're trying to help them and you're giving it everything you've got, but it's not in your hands, it's very defeating. You feel defeated.
Scary. And it's very scary.
It is scary. So I'm glad that she has at least this outlet for her,
Yeah.
And then Heather gets there and she says hi and kisses that's what the kisses was. She kisses everyone but Bronwyn.
Got it.
She kisses everyone but Bronwyn. And Bronwyn obviously notices it, and Mary says, "You didn't kiss Bronwyn," and she said, "Yeah, I didn't. Like, do I need to?" And she like pretends to blow her a kiss. That was rude.
So I think that Heather is very jealous of Bronwyn. I think Heather is very intimidated by Bronwyn. I think it's very Vicky Gunvalson first season hazing. Like Heather thinks like I'm the OG, which by the way, Heather, nobody can stand you now. So she needs to stop. She needs to sit down. But and Bronwyn came on and people like her. She's likable.
Yeah, that's true.
And she has a true friendship with Lisa and had it before the show. And that intimidates Heather because clearly all Heather ever wanted was to be Lisa's friend. And now she is, and she's going to hold on to it, you know, with a death grip.
And that I don't get because I never liked Lisa. I know you always
did. The whole cool girl thing. Like Heather wants to be in the cool clique.
Yeah, well, she's made that
sad that at her age, she still feels that way.
Yeah, it is sad. And it's not only at her age and all that she's done. She's left her husband. She's left the Mormon church. She's, written a bestseller. She has the beauty lab. Like, she's done this all on her own. Like, she doesn't need to be in the cool girl. She can be her own cool girl.
Right. I don't understand that. But you're absolutely right. She's done enough. She's accomplished. So stop it.
Yes.
Stop the hazing.
And then they all sit down, and Angie says that she's surprised to see this name card next to her, and it's Britani's. And Mary says that she invited her because she wants her to know that she's not poor. That was hysterical.
Classic Mary. In my rented house for the day.
Right.
I can treat you all to lunch.
Right. And then Britani shows up late and is not dressed in the theme.
No, her and Lisa looked ridiculous. I mean, neither one of them understood the assignment.
No.
Come on.
They didn't even try.
Heather, I didn't get Heather's either, but Mary said she looked great. So I'm like, all right, maybe this is part of the movie. I don't know either.
No.
But Lisa was wearing an outfit that Mary already wore.
Oh my gosh, that was hysterical. Like, what
and
are
then
the chances?
Lisa said she got it off the runway and Mary probably got it from Bergdorf's or wherever she said.
And what does that even matter?
Exactly.
What does that even matter? Yeah. And honestly, it was a good color, but that was not anything that was breakfast at Tiffany's.
No,
that was not.
It was Tiffany blue.
Yes, I said the color was right, but it wasn't But
that's it. There was no.
That's it.
Right.
And then Mary cheers to everyone, which I thought was nice. And then Heather says, thank you for including everyone to this lunch because we know that didn't happen with the Palm Desert event. Now, that is not a way to thank someone for inviting you to lunch by shading someone else.
Who's attending the lunch.
Right. Who you didn't kiss and you kissed everybody else. It's just rude. It's just rude. And then Mary says we should all enjoy Meredith's caviar that she brought for all of us to enjoy. I guess she needed a
plug.
A little. Yeah, exactly. She needed a little
we're like,
there.
Oh, that's right. Meredith sells caviar.
Right. And then all of a sudden, Britani starts going off and she stands up and is like, what's going on? Like, I really thought I was in an alternate universe. Like, what was she doing?
That didn't happen yet. First,
okay.
And Bronwyn actually talked and kind of, Heather starts this whole, I'm very protective about my friends. Heather's so full of shit, but I think she felt backed in a corner because, listen, my money's on Bronwyn.
Yes, it is.
And they actually do get past what they're dealing with.
Yes, that's right.
And Britani stands up and says, what about me? Like, literally says, what about me?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You're a grown woman and you're a friend of.
Yes.
Bronwyn and Heather are full-time housewives. They have the floor. Nobody cares about you.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how nicely to say that, but
it's just kind of weird.
Very weird.
And then she's yelling at Angie, she invited her to her church gathering and she brought her wine and how dare you bring me wine? And Angie's like, well, you're drinking now.
And you're doing, what'd she say? I have it. Britani, you're doing 3 guys and you're worried about people from your church knowing you drank. Seriously.
Yes.
I mean, and she looks at Heather and she's like, you of all people should understand this. What? That you're hiding who you really are from your church people? These are the people who give, people with faith a bad name.
Right.
Because they are hiding who they really are behind their faith.
Right. And Heather understood it because she left that life. And Whitney said to her, like, are you upset that she brought you wine, or are you upset she brought you wine in front of your church? And she's like, well, no, I'm upset she brought it to me in front of the church people.
That she outed you.
Right. That's what you're upset about.
Absolutely.
That was crazy.
Yeah, she's a train wreck, Britani.
And what about Mary saying that, I don't know about the three guys, but I know that Jared's sliding into my DMs. Who saw that coming?
Oh, that was a mic drop moment. Holy cow.
I was like, and then we see them. Jared is sliding into Mary's DMs. And good thing she don't have time for that.
Holy cow. I mean, she's a pastor, for crying out loud, and married to a pastor. Like, what is wrong with you?
That was crazy.
I can't even. I mean, she's obviously a very attractive woman, but she's, married publicly. Like, we all know she's married. He is a dirty dog.
Yes.
That just an F boy.
Yep. That just shows you more and more of who he was and who he is, right?
Yep.
I almost fell over when I was like, wait,
what?
I
mean, of all of them to say it, Mary. Like, honestly, what did he think Mary was going to take that bait? Stop it. Mary would never take that bait.
Gosh. And I think it's so funny because I'm just thinking back to when they were at the party at Angie's house and Britani shows up with, I think his name was Aaron, and Mary's trying to convince Meredith that it's Jared. Like, she doesn't know who Jared is. 3 weeks prior, she didn't know who he was. Right?
Yeah. She was probably like, who is this really? She probably didn't, like you said, like didn't even know who it was out of the two. And they did look alike.
Oh, when I was watching that, I was like, oh, Mary, you are bringing me life in this show.
Yeah, that was so good. That was great. And then how about Lisa trying to make it like Angie was just as mad as her about the plane seats?
Oh, gosh.
And then they flash back and all she said was, I don't even know where Shawn's sitting. That's all she said.
Right.
Not like, I can't believe I'm in coach.
Right. I don't know where Shawn's sitting.
If she had the same reaction Lisa had or anything close to it, production would have shown it that right now on this episode.
Yes.
Maybe not then because they're shady like that, but they would have shown it now.
I was surprised when Bronwyn said that she had bought her a return ticket home.
And she said first class.
First class, which, again, that's why they were all getting upset. Like, well, where was my first class ticket?
Yeah.
She gave it to her glam. Like, she probably gave it to her glam.
Did they really expect her to buy? What were there, 4 couples?
Yeah.
5 couples. Because Meredith, Whitney, Lisa, Angie, and Bronwyn were all there. Did they really expect her to pay for 10 first class tickets? Fuck you.
There was only 4 seats on the plane. It was a little plane.
Yeah. I mean, listen, maybe she should have given them there weren't even first class seats.
There was only 4 first class seats available. That's all the plane had. It was a small plane.
So it wasn't private, but it wasn't much bigger than a private.
Right. It was a small plane. There was only 4 first class seats available. That's all the plane had. It was a little plane.
But when Heather said, what'd she say?
What'd you do with my ticket?
No. Why?
Who said that?
If it was only a 50-something minute ride, then why did you have to get first class? And she said, because it's my goddamn credit card.
That's right.
I mean, cute.
Right. And even when Heather said to her, what I know about Todd is that he doesn't have a prenup. He, what was the second thing?
I don't know if I wrote it down, but
I did write it down, but I'm all over with my notes. Okay, the 3 things I know about: he doesn't have a prenup, he collects Starbucks mugs.
Yeah.
And he's rude to people when he's on a trip with them.
Bullshit.
Why does he need to have a prenup? Why do you give a shit whether
Why
or
do you
not?
care? That's why I really think it comes down to her just being jealous of Bronwyn. She's jealous of her.
It has to be because it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. Why would you care if someone has a prenup or not? It has nothing to do with you.
No, and listen, they've been married for 10 years. Like,
They haven't been married for 10 years. That's the other thing I think is odd. She just put on Instagram today or yesterday, they were celebrating their 8th anniversary. So I think it was 10 years ago that they met.
okay. Even still, who cares?
Right. Again, I mean, the
It's
prenup
not
thing
anybody's business.
it's not. It's
I'm
really
over,
not.
I'm over Heather.
Yeah.
And Bronwyn's still saying she wants to move forward with Heather at this point. She's still saying it.
Yep. And Heather says, she apologizes for coming off so harsh. I don't know what made her decide to apologize at that point because it didn't even fit in with the scene because she was so hot. And then all of a sudden, okay, I've really come off. Yeah, no, you did come off really harsh. But what changed? Like, was this scene really like 3 hours long? And all of a sudden they're like, you need to tone it down a little. It
I
didn't
think
fit.
she felt backed in a corner. I really do. Because Bronwyn wasn't playing with it.
Yeah.
And now Brittany's apologizing to Bronwyn. She's so thirsty, Britani.
I'm not sure what the heck's going on with her either. Like, why is she even there?
I don't know, but I'm really getting over it. And then with Angie and Meredith. So I didn't realize this. So Meredith says she doesn't want to go backwards with Angie because Angie brings up the whole podcast thing. She doesn't want to go backwards with Angie because she was wrong last season because she was the one spreading rumors about Shawn being gay.
Right. Exactly.
She must have gotten some backlash from the LGBTQ plus community. I want to make sure I said it right.
Yes.
And they didn't. Meredith must have gotten a lot of backlash.
Because Angie said she got support from them.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Which validates what Shawn was saying on the podcast.
100%.
Which validates it.
Absolutely.
And then the way Meredith got up and stormed out and Mary's yelling at her, get out of my house.
But she said it to both Angie and Meredith. If you can't control yourselves, if you can't stop, you need to leave.
Right. Which is valid.
Right.
And then she even said to her, I don't want you to leave. And then Meredith's like, but you hurt me.
Yeah. So now she's hurt by Mary.
She's hurt because she feels like that now Mary's friends with Angie. And Angie is her arch nemesis. Because she made her arch nemesis. Angie didn't do anything to her.
Not at all.
She
and
came
then she
for
storms
Angie.
out in a dramatic fashion because she can't handle it. And I think Angie's the one who said it. There she goes. She leaves. Meredith leaves all the time when she can't handle it.
Mm-hmm. She definitely does. And you know what? I think that we've mentioned this. I mean, there was one whole episode where we saw her all of 3 minutes talking about her bat mitzvah. And like nobody misses her. I would be surprised if she comes back next year, if they invite her back as a full-time housewife, because I really don't see what she's bringing except for produced, made-up drama. That's all she's bringing. I mean, if it was real, that'd be one thing, but nothing she's bringing is real.
No, she's a phony baloney.
Right? I mean, I didn't see anything real in anything that she's doing.
No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
She's just a big phony. And I think what Lisa said in that hot mic moment was probably 100% true. We've talked about this. I think she and Seth have some kind of arrangement in their marriage. And that's great. Good for you. Don't, but show it. Not that it's really anybody's business, but then don't try to cover up the fact that Lisa said that you slept with half of New York.
Or don't try and take someone else's marriage down by starting a rumor that her husband is gay.
Right.
I mean, listen, if you're not going to be honest and show us what's going on in your life, don't make up shit about someone else's life and try and take down their marriage.
Exactly.
Like, that makes no sense.
No, it does not.
No.
It does not.
I don't like Meredith. I don't like Lisa. I do like Angie this year. I do like Mary this year. I have no idea what the heck is going on with Britani. Whitney, I'm on the fence with. I mean,
It's funny because Whitney really annoyed me this season up until this episode. This episode, I was like, okay, this is a Whitney I can get on board with.
Yeah.
Like when she was saying to Heather, like, you know,
Yeah.
although she's got to stop using the word trauma.
I know.
She was like, you and I share the trauma of our friendships. I'm like, oh my gosh, enough.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know.
Me neither. We should mention that Lori is normally here with us for Salt Lake City, but she is
on assignment.
On assignment. She is. She is on assignment for her interior decorating biz.
Yes, she is.
So, we'll
Lori,
see her in 2 weeks.
You're missed. You're missed, Lori.
Yes, we miss you, Lori. We're going to do our charcuterie board when you get back.
Yes, we are. Okay.
But, yeah.
Anything else?
This was a good episode. I am liking Salt Lake City. I mean, at least it's not like New York where you're like yawning through the whole thing.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree.
So, Brittany's a little much, but I like Bronwyn.
I do too. And a lot of people don't like Bronwyn.
What are they saying about her?
They really don't like Todd, and they think that she is a gold digger.
Really? People really think that?
Yeah. That's what I've been reading online.
I don't see that, but I don't know.
I don't see that either.
I just don't. She's not giving me Mia vibes. Let's put it that way.
No, she's not giving Mia vibes.
I think she's a very classy lady, and I think that obviously there's obvious reasons he would be attracted to her, not just because she's beautiful, but she's intelligent and, you know, she's sophisticated. And I could see her, I mean, you know, I could see her being attracted to him. He's a successful businessman. I don't know. I don't get the gold digger vibes from her at all.
I don't either. I like her too. I mean, I like her, but I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't like her. I keep seeing it, and I'm like, I don't feel that way.
Listen, any woman who raises their child without a father in their life and does it, and because her daughter seems lovely,
you
have to have mad respect for that woman, because this is fucking hard raising kids with somebody else alongside of you.
Yes, it is.
So doing it by yourself, and she didn't even have her parents' support, it doesn't sound like.
Not in the beginning, she did not. Not in the beginning. I mean, I think that they didn't have
his family.
Right.
I mean, I just have mad respect for anybody who does that. Single dad or single mom. It's very difficult. Not only financially, but emotionally and keeping your fucking sanity.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Okay. Until next time, thank you for watching and listening. Please give us 5-star reviews and tell your friends. Bye.
Bye.